Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Nagaraju Kilari. In this video, I would like to explain the basic terms of web technology. So let's dive into this video. We will be exploring the basic terms of web technology, and my today's agenda is we'll talk about WWW, World Wide Web, website, what is a website, what is a web page, what is HTML and the purpose of using HTML, what is a web server, defining web hosting, purpose of web browser, and some of the examples of web browsers, what is the role of HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and finally internet. So let's dive into the video. So first and foremost, www, otherwise we can call it as W3, stands for World Wide Web, which is nothing but it is a collection of interlinked web pages or websites. It's a collection of websites in simpler terms. So examples are google.com, right? For example, if you are visiting a website that is nothing but google.com, so which is nothing but we are accessing google.com through W3, World Wide Web. So what is a website? Website is a collection of related web pages. For example, so www.google.com, wikipedia.org, and so on. So the next one, web page. What is a web page? Each and every HTML document of a website can be considered as a web page. Web page consists of text, audio, video, hyperlinks, and so on. So web page is nothing but a single document of a website can be considered as a web page. For example, it can be a home page, it can be a contact page, or a login page. And to create this kind of web pages, we use a powerful language called HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used to create the web pages. So it is a structured, it structures. Otherwise, HTML is a tagged language which consists of opening tag as well as the closing tag to display the content of a web page. So you can understand the relation between the website, web page, HTML as website is a collection of web pages. Web pages are created by using HTML. So if you assume a notebook as a website, right, and then individual page of a notebook can be considered as a web page. So how do we develop these web pages? By using a simple language called HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is a tagged language, contains opening tag as well as closing tag to display the content within a web page, right? For example, looks like this. So I'm using h1 tag in this example. I'm using h1 tag in this example to display the content. So h1 opening tag as well as h1 closing tag. In between, I'm displaying the message hello world, right? So this is the connection between, right, website, web page, and HTML. Using HTML, we create web pages. Collection of web pages becomes a website, right? Collection of websites or web pages are accessible through W3, World Wide Web. So the next one is web server. Once the website is developed, once the website has been created successfully, the web server or the website must be hosted or saved in a computer, in a special software or a computer called web server, so that the users all over the world can start accessing the website. So examples of web servers are Apache Tomcat, Microsoft IIS, and Jinx. So once the website is ready, the website must be stored, must be available, right, on a computer, on a special software called web server, so that the users of all over the world can start accessing your website by using various web browsers. So what is a web hosting? As we discussed, web hosting is nothing but it is a process of saving or storing. Once the website is developed in a distant computer or on a server machine is what you call web hosting. Only then the others who are connected to the internet or who are connected to the web server can start accessing your website. Some of the examples of web hosting are GoDaddy and Bluehost. So The next one is web browser. So how do we access the website? Websites are accessible, or web pages are accessible with the help of web browser. By using web browser, web browser is a software which is used to access or to view the web pages or websites. Some of the popular web browsers are Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, Opera, and so on. So the next one is HTTP protocol. If you want to establish the communication between two or more computers, right? These two or more computers must be connected to each other by following certain rules and regulations. So this is what you call a protocol. And the popular protocol when it comes to web technology is HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which establishes the communication or connection between a web browser and a web server when you request for a particular web page. So, and the last one is internet. What is an internet? Internet is a collection of, otherwise it's a global network of computers connected to each other to share information, data, programs, and so on. So the word W3 is just one service that runs on the internet. So these are some of the important basic terms of web technology. So as a summary, okay, you can see this pictorial representation. By using HTML, we develop the individual web pages. The collection of web pages becomes a website. Once the website is ready, we need to save it in a server machine called web server. So storing this particular process of storing the websites in a server machine is what you call web hosting. Once the website is hosted in the web server, now the machines are the client machines which are connected to the internet, or which are connected to the web server through the internet, can start accessing your website with the help of HTTP protocol. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this can also be considered as client server technology, where the client machines can start sending a requesting for a particular web page through a protocol called HTTP to the web server. Web server receives the request, start searching in its database whether the requested web page is available or not. If it is available, the response will be sent back to the client machine over the HTTP protocol. So this is the main purpose of creating websites and accessing the web pages. So these are the very popular and basic terms of web technology. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Thank you all.